Shaloha and good morning, Bear Nation. Woof. The Scottish Terriers. Interesting. Daniel Streety, good morning, sir. And Danielle Massey. Minnesota is the best state in the union, you know. Pretty good cheese, nice beer, lovely weather, a slight chance of rioting, but it's pretty nice, you know. It's pretty nice. The riots make me say, oof, duh. Lazarus of Bethany. Awesome. Good morning. Congratulations on your resurrection. Good stuff. Sell some gummy bears. You don't want these gummy bears. They're homemade. Shalom, eh? Good morning, Backwoods Bassin. Outcast Kingdom. Country Spark. Joshua Pole. It is We All Gonna Die Wednesday. We all gonna die Wednesday. That's right. Thank y'all for being here. 94,913 of you definitely need MRIs and consults for sure. I appreciate you being here. Probably time to talk to a professional. You might have had some blunt force trauma to the head that caused some kind of shakiness to happen that is now affecting your judgment and thinking that it's a good idea to watch this show every day. But I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Hola, Patrick Kinneck. Good morning, Kinneck. As always, the entirety of this report can be found on Patreon. It is the beginning of the month. It's a great time to be on Patreon. It's a great time to join. Trading my MREs for MRIs. I like that. The Bear Nation is not banned from the EU because we're not in the E, and I don't want to be part of the U. So, oh, Jacob, I'm aware. We're going to talk about that. It's a great time of the month to join Patreon. It's the first of the month. $1 or more per month allows you to support this show. We greatly appreciate it. YouTube is engaged in all kinds of shenanigans, yet again, against our channel and several others. We're going to talk about that a little bit in this report, but suffice it to say that conservative and libertarian voices are not well received on this platform, and they are now actively working against us. So, and if you think about it, like the $5 and up patrons, the gentleman who won the mini stomp bag yesterday, for his contribution, let's see, what's that, $60 a year? He got 12 years worth of Patreon return on investment for winning that one stomp bag. So, just saying. As always, the intel goes to intel@bearindependent.com. Whiskey Alpha Romeo. That's right. You can get that shirt right down here in this little bar underneath the thing right down there. And lots of other shirts as well. Intel@bearindependent.com. How do you spell Bear Independent? How many A's are in the word independent? 0. That is correct. Good morning, Yankee Watchdog. 0. Hotshot Homestead. Bless you. Email sales@Bear Independent. Hotshot sales@Bear Independent. For 10 or more, email sales@Bear Independent. For 10 or more, for your agency, your organization, your school, your church, your mag, your tribe, your whatever, we can do custom content, custom pricing, and in some cases, custom colorization. So, sales@Bear Independent. Appreciate you, bro. All right, let's hop into this report. It is the 1st of July, and I would like to let you know that in case you were unaware, yes, time is speeding like a freight train, and this Saturday, this Shabbat, is the 4th of July. It would be a great day to do these kinds of things. Maybe one of these things, maybe some of this liberty thing, maybe this flag, definitely this flag. So, yeah, just, check that out. It is legit the 4th of July in like 3 days. Don't step on the sneck. That's right. He gets all rattly when you step on it. So, 1 July, deuce 2020, overview. The number of confirmed cases worldwide and in the U.S. continues to climb. As of the time of this reporting, the official numbers are as follows. Holy, thank you, mucho apreciado, which is Espanol for many thanks, I think, something like that. Global cases, 10,559,000. Active cases, 4,264,000. Global deaths, 512,000. Leslie, that's right. We all gonna die Wednesday. Global recoveries, 5,781,000. U.S. cases, 2,719,000. Of those 2.7 million, 1.45 million are active. The U.S. deaths are 129,997, so right about 130,000. U.S. recoveries are 1,134,000. Let's come on over here to the board. This incredibly racist whiteboard. Highly privileged. Will never understand. Apologize! I'm sorry. Okay, good. There, we got that squared away. Repeating, public threat levels are being elevated once again. Oh, we're going to need a marker, team. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's use green. Wes Crocker. Pip is here. Come on, man. Come on. Tango Charlie. Don't be dying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, Prepping in Progress is here. Padraig. Shalom, brother. All right. Public threat levels are being elevated once again. Tyranny. I love We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Masks are becoming a policy. Perfect. Emergency powers are being extended. Quarantines are being re-implemented. And individuals are being encouraged to stay at home. Perfect. As time goes on, the revolutionary message is becoming clearer. A guillotine, or guillotine, was placed outside Jeff Bezos' DC residence. Geez, by the way, has anybody literally profited more from this COVID-19 quarantine than Jeff freaking Bezos? Do you know, brief aside, little insider baseball for you. If you are a small business and you want to get your product onto Amazon, one American, bless you, thank you. If you want to get your, Mr. Zeke, welcome. You're an insider now. Feel special. Drink an extra cup of coffee this morning. You're going to need it. It cost us roughly about $4,000 to get the Bearfax on Amazon. I'm begging you, please don't buy them off of Amazon for 3 reasons. And we did this before the world ended. The first reason is Amazon doesn't pay me until a week after you receive your product, which means that I have to have a large amount of working capital to be able to fulfill said product, ship said product, send it to you, okay? Which, if that's your business model, that's fine. But when you're an itty-bitty company like we are, it's difficult. The second is Amazon takes 15% off the top, just straight up. So if you have a $200 product, they take $30 of profit, boom, for facilitating the sale. Well, if you're an itty-bitty company like us, who's just simply trying to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of His provision and blessing, and you don't make all that much on a kit, $30 is a hell of a lot of money to take out of my pocket, right? And so that was kind of an eye-opener. Amazon is organized crime. And the third and last thing is Jeff Bezos does not need one more dollar. Now, that being said, there are things that we as a person, as a human, as an individual, and as an organization do purchase off of Amazon. But we are going out of our way to try and build relationships with the small businesses that we buy from on Amazon so that we can circumnavigate Amazon and not put another dollar into Jeff Bezos' pocket. So at least be aware of that. Okay. Awesome. A guillotine was placed outside of Jeff Bezos' residence. I'm going to go and just say this is probably civil unrest by civilians. With a poster that read, "Support our poor communities, not wealthy men." A digital flyer titled "Abolish the Present, Reconstruct Our Future" read, "Abolish the police, the prisons, and Amazon." You see how this is all being lumped together? Many have been written up or fired for not towing the line of political correctness in their personal social media. Tyranny from the system and the .gov, and more civil unrest from civilians. Stefan Molyneux, which if you didn't know how to pronounce that name would sound something like Stefan Molyneux, an anti-communism philosopher with a massive unmonetized channel on YouTube. And as I said, they're playing those games again. So come see us on Patreon. We'd love it if you would. Massive unmonetized channel on YouTube has been banned and erased with no warning, allegedly for racism, after 14 years on this platform. His videos can still be found on BitChute. And the platform Twitch, good morning NWA, the platform Twitch, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, Brad, bless you. Yeah, see, there you go. Used to sell stickers on Amazon. Cost me 25 cents to make. Had to sell them for $7 to make $1.25. Right? That's what I'm saying. The platform Twitch, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, has banned President Trump's channel for hateful conduct due to footage of his speeches from 2015 and the rally in Tulsa. So, yet again, this communist, anti-capitalist agenda marches forward. As we can see, go out of your way, please, to support voices that you trust, conservative and libertarian voices, people that resonate with you, not necessarily inform your own normalcy biases, but if there's somebody, us or anybody else, that you've come to value their daily contribution to your life, please pour into them, because I'm telling you, this will go away. It's just a matter of time. I was told by the Father when we started this channel, this is just for a time. I don't know if this time is a day, a week, a month, a year, a lifetime, but it's just for a time. So, while we are trying very hard to march towards 100,000 subs here on YouTube, I also am completely aware that today, right now, they could click the clacker and blow this whole thing up. We'll still be at Patreon. All right, let's tally this up. The guillotine, we got the guillotine. That's civil unrest. The digital flyer, that's civil unrest from the civilians. Stefan Molyneux, that is tyranny from the system, believe it or not. And Twitch, Jeff Bezos, is tyranny from the system. Cool. According to the International Monetary Fund, the global economy will shrink by 4.9% this year. Economic crisis, the system. The U.S. economy is expected to shrink by 8%. However, this forecast assumes one thing, that stay-at-home orders will not be reinstated amidst the subsequent waves of the virus. So, this contraction of 4.9% globally and 8% domestic assumes that there's no more stay-at-home orders. We'll jump a little bit further into the report. Just suffice it to say that that assumption is probably less than accurate. We're going to go ahead and tally that assumption as well, because that's one more for economic crisis. Now, boys and gerbils. Mr. Zeke, oh, they are coming. They're all coming to bearindependent.com, which is where you can get cool things for cool kids. This is the active shooter response kit, handmade in America by Americans, just so we're all on the same page here. Bear Independent. This is hand-stitched by Americans in America. It still has the chalk lines on it. This is guaranteed forever. If you break this, I want to know about it so I can send you another one. This mollies onto your plate carrier, your chest rig, your war belt, the side of your face. You can put Velcro strips on the back of it and stick it to the wall next to the door in your classroom or your office or your bank or your small business or your church or your boat or your Baja truck or your Jeep or your whatever. Okay? And the way that this is designed to work, oh, by the way, this is red with reflective, which we do a lot for like public bleeding control, like in buildings and schools, on vehicles, stuff like that. But also available in coyote tan, marpat woodland, OD green, gray, black, and I'm missing one. Gray, black, red, coyote, marpat. Oh, multicam, all the Gucci, all of it. So this is how this works. Oh no, we've been hit. You pull the top open, and this, the active shooter response kit, has a SWAT T built into it in the top. I like the SWAT T because unfortunately in situations where children might be taking rounds, I like the SWAT T more on small diameter limbs, because while the cat tourniquet has been shown that it can bite on a limb up as small as 1.25 inches in diameter, it doesn't hold that well on small diameter limbs. You know, the cat T, that cheap plastic windlass tourniquet that everybody in the entire United States Armed Forces is issued, and is a $30 tourniquet, clearly very cheap. So I like the SWAT T for small diameter limbs. I like it more than the RATS tourniquet because the RATS has been shown in some circumstances to loosen when you move the casualty. Well, if there's bullets flying, we're gonna, yeah, dang Karen, if there's bullets flying, we're gonna move the casualty. So I don't want the tourniquet to loosen. Therefore, I don't have a tourniquet, okay? So this stays mollied to wherever. This comes out. Now you have a purpose-built blowout kit in your hand, okay? So what do you got? Up top, you got your surgical tape, you got your nitrile gloves, you got your Gen 7 cat tourniquet, military issue, military specification. We've got a survival blanket right here. We've got a 14-gauge decompression needle, 6-inch emergency trauma dressing from North American Rescue. And then down below, we have down here in the pocket, we have quick clot, advanced clotting gauze, two strips of quick clot in here. And then you've got not enough hands to hold all of this. You got your stack in the back. So you got your 7¼ inch North American Rescue shears with the O2 bottle in it for doing EMT stuff. 28 FR nasopharyngeal airway, 2 5x9 gauze pads, and not one but two, not compact but full size high fin chest seals, because bullets tend to go through people, not just in people. There are exceptions to every rule, but essentially if you get shot in the box, if there's a hole in the box, there's a hole in the front of the box and a hole in the back of the box. You got to seal both of those holes in order for it to matter. So that's why you have two chest seals, not just one. A lesson that somebody should tell the United States Marine Corps. Oh, did I mention that these kits meet or exceed all current United States military specifications for a blowout kit, and they're made in America, and they're guaranteed forever, and they're $100 less than the bullshit that Trauma Pack wants to sell you that is actually made in China. Boom! Oh, you can also get t-shirts, patches, stickers, hats, magnets, all that other stuff at the Bear store, bearindependent.com. But I digress. 2 or more eyewitness accounts, continuity of infrastructure and supply chains. Repeating. The coin shortage is ongoing, affecting bank customers and stores. Where's my maca? Economic crisis. It's been a while since we've talked about economic crisis. Economic crisis, coin shortage, Roger. Debit and credit have become necessary in places that do not have coins to make change. Good morning, wild boars. Hoorah! A Bloomberg report shows that nearly 2.2 million restaurants in the world could close due to the coronavirus restrictions. Boom. That's also going to affect civilians. This could create a series of ripple effects on the entire supply chain that exists to support restaurants, such as liquid egg factories and similar facilities. Boom. But that's also boom and boom. Food shortage. Food shortage. Legal, political, and military. Oregon's governor has mandated that all people in the state wear a mask. Tyranny, government, boom. Wear a mask while indoor in public spaces, effective today. Repeat, if you're in Oregon and you're indoors in public spaces today, wear a mask. Or don't. You could just say, hey, I've got a great idea. How about you go pound sand? I'm not going to wear a mask. And they're going to say, sir, if you do not comply, we're going to arrest you under blah, blah, blah. And then you go, okay, cool, arrest me. And then when they arrest you, you say, hey, Bear, I got arrested. Let's talk. I'm like, okay, let's talk. And then we take this case to the Supreme Court, and then blah, 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 blah. Or whatever, right? You could just simply say, no, I'm not doing that. We don't need no stinking masks. Also, just so that we're all tracking here, you see this right here? See this? Come out of her, my people, lest you partake of her sins, participate in her lawlessness, because sin is lawlessness. But Bear said it was cool. It is cool. I will not comply. You might want to not comply, because I don't know what mott is. I know that Mott's makes applesauce, but I will applesauce comply is probably not going to help you in a court of law or in an engagement with some type of tyranny. So, come out of her, my people. Okay? Lest you partake of her sins and receive of her plagues. Sins are lawlessness. Lest you partake of her lawlessness and receive of her plagues. So part of that means don't be in her being Babylon, the system, right? So how do you not get mandated to wear a mask? You don't be in a place where it's mandated that you wear a mask. Does that make sense? Mask wearing is tyranny, which will affect civilians. A Bloomberg, I did that. A proposed budget in Los Angeles recommends cutting $145.4 million allocated to local police. This is absolutely civil unrest on behalf of the government and the system, which will affect civilians, and it's also an indicator of economic crisis. Part of why it is becoming popular, says me, to defund the police is because there's not funding for the police. It's being spent on other bullshizer. Masks are mandatory at my work, Bear. Corey, I don't know what to tell you. They're not mandatory at my work. Tio Man Kochar. Thank you. Bless you. Mucho apreciado. Budget cuts for the police. This is clearly going to affect civil unrest, and an example for sure that Rome is burning. You know, and actually we've had several examples already of Rome burning that I missed. For show. Secretary Wilbur Ross tweeted, remember back in the day when news was more than just talking heads talking about what people tweeted on Twitter? That was a lot of twas and tuz in that sentence. I'm glad that I got that out. Stacy, it's we all gonna die Wednesday. We all did. Secretary Wilbur Ross tweeted today, the U.S. is suspending regulations affording preferential treatment to Hong Kong over China. War. The real Donald Trump administration urges Beijing to immediately reverse course and fulfill the promises it has made to the people of Hong Kong and the world. Shut up, Wilbur Ross. Societal. 2 teenagers were shot within Chaz. One, 16 years old, has died, and the other 14 is in intensive care. This is the 4th shooting incident in the last 10 days. Which is why you should have something like this. If not this, something like this. You should have it in your hands and know how to use it. Something like this. You should also come out of her, my people, so that if people are shooting, it's not at you, it's at deer, so you can eat it for dinner. I hate that. I hate it when kids get killed. I hate that shit. That is civil unrest, and that's because the system is burning. Also in Chaz, city workers and police removed some barriers with heavy equipment, but activists erected another makeshift barricade in its place within an hour. Boom, boom, boom. Lots of that going on. So here's the deal. If you're trying to hang out in Chaz, you need armor. Where holes? Making holes, packing holes, stopping holes. It's a game of holes, man. It's not the game of holes that you tried to play when you were a teenager. That's a different game of holes. You know, those Keystone Light fueled rampages through the backwoods. Good for you, Reverend. 8,000 people are not in the chat. 1.2 thousand are in the chat. Here's the deal. You need body armor. You know what? That's right, Mark Chase. AdventureFrontier.com. That's where you go to get your body armor. They have your Spartan armor. They got the level 3, the level 3 plus, the level 4. They got the steel plates. They got the ceramics. They got the anti-spall coatings. They got the shooter cut. They got the swimmer cut. They got the trauma pads. They got the triple curve. They got the Mopsies and the Ranger things and this thing and the side plates. And does it go with this? Yeah, they got it. Can you order it? The answer is yes. How's the shipping? It's great. Preferential treatment from Spartan. They're doing so much right now that Spartan is hooking them up to the best of their ability. So when you go to AdventureFrontier.com, can you get armor there? Check. Can you buy IFAKs there, including the bare minimum, the bare FAK, and the active shooter response kit? That's right, Badger. Just watch. Check. Armor. Check. IFAKs. Check. Fluffy bunnies? No, negative. We're working on the fluffy bunnies. No luck just as yet, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And preferably, you should be going to AdventureFrontier.com by the light of the dashboard lights so that we can all rejoice in the wonderfulness that is the American rock star Meatloaf. Onion ninjas? Negative. No fluffy bunnies. Armor? Yes. IFAKs? Yes. Fluffy bunnies? Not so much. No Marpat fluffy bunnies yet. They're coming. They're coming. So hot. Hot damn. Call the police and the fireman. I would, however, they've all been defunded. So it's more like call Raz and some communists, man. So, like a bat out of Wuhan. Nice. I think that's a reference to the Meatloaf album, Like a Bat Out of Hell. My mom was a Meatloaf fan as I was growing up, can you tell? That's right. You can't call the police or the fireman in Chaz, so nobody get too hot while you're there, okay? It's Seattle. Everybody has hoodies. Tommy Salter, good morning, man. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous firearms and ammo are in very high demand. This is absolutely correct. Boom, boom, boom. Bicycle racks are cleared out in several areas across the country. Boom, boom. We have pics of this on Patreon from Texas, Louisiana, and Missouri. Next, quote, we were at Buc-ee's this morning, which if you don't know what Buc-ee's is, it's a massive gas, to call it a gas station is ridiculous. It's a massive gas station. Like, it's a destination. Huge. Bike racks. Yeah, bike racks. We were at Buc-ee's this morning, and we overheard a nurse saying that if anyone tests positive for COVID-19 and they have 5 people in their household, it's counted as 5 active cases without any testing of the other 4. Now the other 4 might have antibodies because they already had it and got over it without knowing, but they're still counted as active cases. Repeat. Overheard a nurse saying that if someone tests positive for COVID-19 and they have 5 people in their household, it's counted as 5 active cases without any further testing of the other 4. Now, the other 4 might have antibodies because they already had it and got over it without knowing, but they're still counted as active cases. Yeah, Taylor Swift is a dude. Exactly. That's not intel, Bear. Bro, that's literally, Chris, don't make me come at you. That's literally why right here it's under single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous, which is exactly how it's presented, which was exactly what I said before I stated that. Don't. You weight that however you see fit to, Chris. It is not my job to put convictions on your heart. It is my job to read this report to you, and that's what I'm doing. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous. Okay, we good now, Chris? One viewer could not get change. Oh, hold on. Shabba-dabba-dabba-da, disinformation for sure. One viewer could not get change for $100 and was told, sorry, sir, we can't give you change. We are predicting a cash shortage. International. Yeah, don't poke the bear. Jump ship. Don't poke the bear. Stay-at-home orders have been reinstated for hotspot suburbs within Melbourne. I'm guessing Australia. So, we're going to say tyranny, that's civilians, and DOS system. China has approved a coronavirus vaccine for its military, though no vaccines have yet been approved for commercial use. It's not yet clear how widespread the use of vaccinations will actually be. Where would I put that? Because that's China, so there's probably an element of disinformation there, but also an element of war to there, and also potentially civil unrest because of that. Chinese researchers have discovered a flu-like virus that has, quote, pandemic potential, end quote, which is sparking concerns among many. The threat is not immediate, though it remains to be seen if this and similar issues could be used to prop up economy-crippling tyranny. Boom. Foreign bad actors and effects on the civilian populace. India has banned 59 Chinese-owned applications, including TikTok and WeChat, for the, quote, defense of India, security of state, and public order. I'm a Sasquatch at me. Let's arm wrestle. Rip that Sasquatch arm right off your puny body. According to current plans, the European Union is planning to travelers from the U.S., Brazil, and Russia indefinitely, but allow travel from China. That makes sense, right? That's a good idea. That's probably a Rome is burning indicator, as well as some foreign bad actors. Cool. And now we're on to actionable. So let's tally the cage match. Let's do it. Dose 7, 9, 14, 15, 5, 10, 12, 3, 10, 16, 18, 19, 4, 8, I'm sorry, 9, 10, 3, 4, 7, 6, 11, 13, 18, 19, 21, 26, 4, 10, 12, 8, 11, 15, 17. All right, so most likely is we have civil unrest, and tyranny, and the perpetrators, perps, are the system and civilians. So the system I'm going to credit with tyranny, and civilians, civil unrest. So it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out that, yeah, this is where we are right now. Civil unrest and tyranny, perpetrators are the system and civilians, and I'm going to attribute the tyranny to the system and civil unrest to civilians. Yeah, right? Of course. However, I do want to talk about this. This seems kind of obvious. What's probably not obvious to a lot of people is that this whole thing started because of a pandemic threat with perceived global implications for massive death. That was the disruptive threat. That disruptive threat led to the regular threat, armed, uniformed regular threat of governments around the world as well as foreign bad actors. It has caused a systemic interruption, aka potential collapse, or at least a stutter effect within the system, which has created the irregular threat of civilian civil unrest, which is motivated by food shortage, economic crisis, tyranny, disinformation, and all these other things that we talked about. So this is a great example. When we get through this thing, this is a great example of how it started as this thing, pandemic, and morphed into this thing, right? The disruptive threat created the regular and irregular threats. Some could even say that it was an environmental threat because it's this virus, right? And the virus, the environmental threat, created the disruptive threat, which was the government and the system, which then created the regular threat of people in uniforms with guns, and the irregular threat, Chazistan, or whatever, that is the actual problem. And so remember this next time, whatever comes next. The perceived threat is over here. The actual threat are the downstream effects, the second, third, fourth order effects of this thing as this plays out, which is why you should be doing your area studies, which is why you should be developing intel. Who goes there? Probably not a good idea to do that when a guy's armed with a gun. Good morning, Sister Renee. I knew it was you. You want to say hi to the people? Shaloha. Oh, and Mini Renee. We call her Phil. That's not her name, though. The names and faces have been changed to protect the innocent. So, remember this next time around. Whatever the next thing is, remember that it's not necessarily the thing. Sheepdog Roger. It's not necessarily the thing. It's the downstream effects of that thing. Okay? Okay? Everybody good? Everybody good? Copy. Actionable. Make sure your fire extinguishers are ready to go. Make sure your fire extinguishers are ready to go. Be aware of the upcoming availability of explosives, aka fireworks, and the subsequent risks that they may carry in these times. If you blow off this many fingers, what are you going to do about it? Do you have a first aid kit and a fire extinguisher handy? Something you should probably think about. Be in communication with your neighbors and sheriff's department and be prepared as a group for civil unrest. This is a real thing. New firearms transaction record has all your info on the front page. Make sure that people aren't snapping pics of all your info. Reach out and socially support others. Suicide is on the rise even among children sequestered at home. If you... Chris, it's okay. I love you. Not like that, though. Get that filthy idea out of your brain. We're just friends, okay? We're just friends. It's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. Good job, Blue Wrenches. Yes, waking the giant on the 4th of July. No, it isn't the bear. It's waking the giant. Don't wake the bear. The bear's awake. The bear's had enough coffee. Gosh dang, the bear's had enough coffee. Socially support people. Let people know that they are loved. Snatch them up. Hug them. Love them. I mean, not random people, because that'll get you punched or maced or shot. Okay? Don't run around snatching up random people. I love you. That's weird. Don't do that. Good morning, Earl's daughter. Don't do that. There's laws against that. But people that you know, snatch them up, hug them, love on them, let them know that they are loved. Okay? If you cannot obtain a freezer for meat, remember that pressure canning, pickling, and freeze drying are options. Also consider looking on alternative markets like Facebook Marketplace, Communists, and Craigslist, some hippie, for individual sellers of freezers. You can find alternative food resources. You go see the Asians at the Asian stores. You can go see Jonas Yoder at the Amish/Mennonite store. They have the best steam engines and donkeys you've ever seen. Restaurant supply stores and local farmers. You can form groups to buy direct and process live. We have a neighbor that we will be helping to process a cow that's been throwing bad calves. And so we're going to do that in the fall because temperatures matter and flies are horrendous. And we're going to do our best to film a bunch of content around that. Maybe even live stream it. We'll see. I mean, talk about a great way to get kicked off of YouTube. Live streaming the butchering of a cow, from the hammer dropping to putting it in the freezer. Yeah, so, but do that. Get together with your neighbors and do that. And yet again, there's a recurring theme the last few days. See this right here? Come out of her, my people. It's awful hard to butcher a whole cow in your cul-de-sac in the gated neighborhood that you live in. Okay? Religious freedom video? Bro, I live it every day. I live it. You have 2,000 of those here at this channel. Oh, goodness. If you need medical supplies, you can go to bearindependent.com for the best damn first aid kits on the planet, bar none. I'll put them up against anybody. You can also check out veterinarian and midwife supply stores. Renee, they spun me up today, Renee. They spun me up. That's right. I got a call with a Navy SEAL after this so we could talk about doing some stuff. It's going to be awesome. I'll tell you all about that later. If you cannot, they're going to be like, thanks, but no thanks. You're a little too intense, bro. If you cannot obtain seed in your area, use your pantry. Dry beans, seeds found inside ripe squash and tomatoes, potatoes that are left to sprout eyes and so forth. And stay politically vigilant and active. By the way, speaking of active, if you get active and your junk smells like trash, you should probably get some Hero Soap from herosoapcompany.com. Go there, get the peppermint plus cool, get the tea tree oil stuff. It will make your dangles tingle, and everybody needs a dangly, tingly bit, okay? So ladies, if you're looking for a new way to make your hubby feel tingly, get the dangly parts to tingle by going to herosoapcompany.com. You can use promo code BEAR. You like that? Smells like trash? You're welcome. You can use promo code BEAR. That's how they know you like this stupid show. herosoapcompany.com. Silver linings. A couple has purchased 5 acres of heavily wooded property near a small town. Quote, once we have it all set up, we plan to invite any nearby Bear Clan for a homestead warming party. Very cool. I'm not stressed, yells Isaac. You might be a little. Quote, we are using the extra unemployment money for a down payment on a piece of property. My wife has never owned a home. Now I get to build a home for us. With Bear's advice, we are stacking it to the rafters and are going to have room for a garden and livestock. Awesome! One couple has left Los Angeles. They have 17 fruit trees and counting. Sweet! Best show ever. You better quit playing, Isaac. It's We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Don't play on Wednesdays. My wife and I have brokered deals with not my wife, the person who wrote this. My wife and I have brokered deals with cow and lamb ranchers, and we now have 2 freezers stuffed. We also have planted a garden with all the beans, squash, cucumbers, and tomatoes. Awesome. Even watermelon and cantaloupe, which is spelled like cantaloupe, which I think we should start while we're starting nationwide movements, you know, waking the giant and all that. Can we also start the cantaloupe movement? Let's just call it what it is. Let your yes be yes and no be no. That's straight up Torah. If it's cantaloupe, how come it's not spelled L-O-P-E? It's spelled cantaloupe, so let's call it cantaloupe, okay? Exactly, Chris, cantaloupe. Even watermelon and cantaloupe. Our Father has blessed us with so much that we've been able to help take care of 3 other families with food as well. Amen. We've cut our grocery bill significantly. I'm not sure of the exact dollar amount yet, but we haven't been to a grocery store in over 14 days. Thank you, Bear, and most importantly, I thank God that you have the ability to spread His word and your knowledge amongst all of us. God bless all of you that make this channel possible. Amen. We have a badass team here, man. They... Water Malone. My team being who they are allows me to be who I am and do what I am, and so I'm humbled that y'all lift me up regularly in prayer, and I would ask selfishly that you would also consider them and lift them up in prayer, because there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes here that y'all don't see. And the reason you don't see it is not that we don't want you to see it, it's just it's impossible to capture everything that happens even in a day around here. So shout out to my badass team, the dance monkeys, the admins, the sales staff, the store people, the fact packers. I mean, it's awesome. And this has all happened because you have to meet the Father halfway. He presented the opportunity for blessing and provision, and He gave us y'all, and we leaned into this. And this has been a wonderful, wonderful experience for me. I've grown lots of businesses before, but I've never grown businesses with the mission statement to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of His provision and blessing. And also the sales gerbils. That's right, the often overlooked sales gerbils. We have dance monkeys, but the sales gerbils, we don't often talk about them. So shout out to the sales gerbils. I need to go back to the Lord. Copy. Stand by. Shout out to Sierra, who won the grindstone raffle last night. That was super cool. Ian, bless you. That was super cool on the live stream last night. We got to talk to Sierra in person on the phone. Hey, I think sales gerbils just became a thing. The internet seems to agree, just letting y'all know over there. So good luck, sales gerbils. Man. And the Onion Ninjas too. So shout out to Sierra, that was freaking awesome. You know, we literally prayed over those tickets. It was like, all right, Father, whoever wins this, please let them need this stuff. And we get Sierra on the phone, and she's a nursing student who's just brand new to prepping and now has an awesome kit to get started with. I'm like, praise Yah, man, that's freaking awesome. All right, you can find local food resources and like-minded groups at bearindependent.com on the forums. You can find Prepper Classroom digital downloads, Bear Facts, other emergency supplies. The classroom, classroom.bearindependent.com is now live. You can work through the Prepper Classroom. You can also get you one of these fancy binders filled with all the notes from the Prepper Classroom there. Stay tuned for the next Grindstone raffle. If you'd like to support Grindstone, you can go to grindstoneministries.com. And there's a donate now button. There's a sign up for the newsletter button. And I will be, in the next couple of weeks, getting with y'all about the next raffle that's coming up. It's going to be sweet. You can support disastercoffee.com. You can go to sanctifiedsupplyco.com. Again, bless y'all for helping Jerry and Lucia launch at Sanctified Supply Co. They met their sales goal, I think, in 14 days. We had talked about, I don't know, 30 days might be too quick. Y'all halved that. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. So thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited for Sanctified Supply Co. too, man. And then Amendment 1 Preparedness. Amendment the number 1 Preparedness. Huge supporter of the show. Does a lot of stuff behind the scenes that y'all don't see. Super good to us. And makes awesome radios. Awesome radios. And so if you need a ham radio, you can pre-order one at amendment1preparedness.com. Also, new supporter of the show, Blaze Defense Systems. So you can go to blazedefensesystems.com. You can snag one of these fire extinguishers here. They're pretty cool. We're going to be talking more about these in the coming days. You can use promo code BEAR for 10% off. These are aerosols, and they do not and shall not replace typical fire extinguishers in a building that has to be in place to meet certain codes. But these are generally strictly for personal use. Widely used by SWAT teams across the world for flashbang fires, Molotov threats, and for vehicle fire suppression capabilities. So these are like literally tactical fire extinguishers. So if you have tactical fire extinguisher needs, you can check out Blaze Defense Systems. All right, please continue to send your intel to the dance monkeys at intel@bearindependent.com. Come see us on Patreon. It's the beginning of the month. It's a great time to become a patron. We really, really appreciate all of y'all that are patrons, and I'm thankful for you. And we're going to talk to the Most High. $12 a year, people. Amen. You look like you're in a Kung Fu movie. Come at me, 82 Rock Solid. Let's go. Actually, it's Kung Fu, so it'd probably be more like this. Have you heard Dance My... Of course I have, Tones and I. Where do you think they got their names from? All right. Let's talk to the Father. Good morning, Father Yah. What a day. Father, thank you for putting us here to do this. And we're not going to dance around it because we have somebody in the audience who's raised their hand and said, I need to come back to the Father. I need to come back to you. And so I'm bad at foreplay, so let's just cut to the chase. Say these words out loud, in your mind, in your heart, after me. Just mean them. Say these words. Father Yah, I'm a sinner, and I need help. I need intercession. And I commit to give my life into your hands. I commit to walk in the ways of Yeshua, of Jesus the Christ. And I give my life to you, that you would heal it, that you would knit me back together again, that you would rebuild me one brick at a time, so that you could teach me to walk in your ways and do your things and do your will. Father, I confess that Yeshua is HaMashiach, that Jesus is the Christ. And I ask him to lead my life this day and every day going forward. And I will commit myself to understand and obey to the best of my broken ability. And I beg your forgiveness that I cannot earn, but that is freely given by the blood of the Lamb. Father, make me whole. Fill me up with your Holy Spirit, your Ruach HaKodesh, that I would be indwelt by you for wisdom and discernment, for power and authority, for peace and comfort. That you would build testimony in me. That people would see me and know you. Father, if there's anything in me and anything in the sound of my voice that's not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. And I pray that you'd keep us filled up, that you would walk with us always, and that you would remember us as we remember you and commit ourselves into your hands. We ask all this in the sanctified and powerful name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. And chasing life, have a great drive across the country. Stay safe, sister. Bless y'all. Bless y'all. Mr. Zeke. Bless y'all. You know, I think it's in the book of Matthew when the lady with the blood issue, 20 years, has been unable to stop her bleeding, and Jesus, Yeshua, is walking by, and she reaches out, and in the King James it says the hem. She grabs the hem of his garment. The Hebrew word there is zitziot. She grabs his tassels. She grabs not his hem, but one of these, which is Numbers 15:37. You should wear the zitziot on the corner of your garment, and you should put a blue cord throughout it so that you remember and do all the commands of Yahweh your Elohim. For I am the Lord Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of Mitzrayim, the land of bondage and slavery, so you be sanctified unto me. And so she reaches out and she grabs Yeshua's zitziot, which is indicative of the fact that he was wearing them in the first place. And she's healed instantly. Love you back, brother. Instantly, she's healed. And what does Yeshua say? Who touched me? For I felt power go out of me. And the apostles are like, WTF, bro? What do you mean, who touched you? You're walking through a throng of people. And he says, no, I felt power go out of me. And I would submit to you that part of why Yeshua is regularly going off by himself to be into the wilderness to commune with the Father is so that he can stay filled up with the Father, because that power goes out of you. You have to be filled up and in order to be able to pour out into others. And I'm saying all of this because whenever we do that, and I love it, whenever we do that, I can just feel the power go out of me. And what's cool is it's not my power in the first place. It's his. I feel emptied, far beyond driven. Then ask the Father to fill you up. Badger, thank you for the Onion Ninjas. Praise the Most High. Go be the light, Bear Nation. Go be the light. I'm telling you, if you see anything good in me, it's not because of me. It's because of how awesome the Most High is. Bear Nation, you guys are the best audience on the planet. We couldn't do this without y'all. We love you. Have an awesome day. Shalom. And Chris, we're cool, brother. We're cool.